For today's video, I'll go over my defender power rankings for Supercoach 2021. And now my criteria, it is a subjective list, but it's based on role, durability, are they going to lose kickouts, are they going to gain kickouts, stuff like that. So, and proven history as well. So, we have injured is Lachie Whitfield. So Whitfield would probably be number 2. I just think the way the game's going, they want the ball in the good users' hands, and it seems to be, endurance runners should probably benefit as well. So the rules seem, you could almost call them the Whitfield rules as well, pretty much. So it's going to be interesting, and I definitely think when he's fit and running, we're going to need Lachie Whitfield in our team. But in the mix, Ridley pretty stiff to miss out, but taking more kickouts it seems, but sometimes his role slightly changes. Sometimes with the tall sort of players, the interceptors, sometimes opposition can take him out of the game, whereas probably a bit harder to do it to the other guys. But we might see some defensive tags this year because it's very rare, but this year might be a little different. So just keep an eye on that. Ridley pretty stiff. Dougherty, we know what he can do. This year he's not coming off an ACL. He hasn't had the best preseason, but it's going to be better than coming off an ACL. So keep an eye on Dougherty, but durability issues with him. Dan Houston, so an interesting one. Thought he settled in defence pretty well at the back end of the last year. Seems like he's scoring well in the preseason. Port do have a few other guys that can use it in defence, so maybe he misses out some weeks, but see how much they use him. We also have Maynard. So Maynard's looking pretty good. Has a minor interruption. I'm not even sure he plays round 1. But it seems like there's safer bets to Maynard. But looks pretty good on the weekend. Crisp's pretty safe, but best durability of the lot. However, he doesn't have kickouts, so that might hurt him a little bit. But probably the best kick, I guess. So pretty safe option. Like McDonald, terrible on the weekend, but I'm not exactly sure if Noble wants to use him as the outlet in defence all the time, but he was really good there last year. So I'm not going to, just because he had one really poor game, it doesn't mean we forget how good he was last year, posting up almost Jake Lloyd numbers in defence. So McDonald's an interesting one, definitely one to keep an eye on. You just want to see how he goes for a few weeks. Stephen May scored really well in the back half of last year. Sort of has durability issues, seems to improve last year, played every game I think, but it might not play round 1, so see how that goes. But definitely one to watch. Scored massive in the preseason. Daniel Rich, just because he's such a good kick, do Brisbane use him a hell of a lot out of defence, and then he takes kick-ins, so probably past his prime though, so probably generous mention here. And then Hunter Clark, just because he looks so good in the midfield, and I'm not exactly sure what he's capable of. Could he be a 100+ guy? It's possible, but I'm not sure. So I think he deserves a mention, but it could be nowhere near this list. Maybe, it would be a pretty big jump from last year. So number 1 is pretty obvious. It's Jake Lloyd. He might lose some kickouts this year, but I just feel, he said on radio a few weeks ago, my job is basically my teammates feed me the ball and I exit out of defence. That's pretty much paraphrasing him there. So. Has a minor concern with his back of his knee, but it seems like a pretty insignificant injury, and he's in full training, I'm pretty sure. So I have him at about 118 this year, so see how that goes. I think definitely the rules suit Jake Lloyd, so see how that goes. Number 2, I have Caleb Daniel. So I think the Dogs, he's by far their best ball user, so they're going to use him a hell of a lot, and he's probably to the point where he attracts a tag. I'm not sure how effective those tags will be. But we'll see how that goes. That'll be pretty interesting. So, also they probably opposition might need to clamp Bont every now and then, because you can't let Bont run free. Daniel's an interesting one. So I have him number 2, so maybe that's generous, but I just think, the rules suit him perfectly. Number 3, we have Rory Laird. So obviously playing for a pretty bad team this year, so going to cop some losses, but pretty consistent in the midfield. And by far the Crows' best midfielder. So really good at getting those ground balls, really good at getting first possession. So he's holding that midfield together. And in the Marsh series against Port, the Crows' midfield wasn't that bad in the Amy game. It's just that Laird held it together. It's just that at the other end, the Crows were destroyed. So Laird he can hold it down in the midfield, so we saw what he could do last year. He could go, I have him at about 110, could be less, could be more. Now, equal third, I have Tom Stewart, played really well on the weekend, so yeah, he's still one of the best ball users in their defence. Now they have Jordan Clark, so see how that goes. Maybe he steals some kick-ins, or maybe they use him on a wing, I'm not sure. Just a lot of, with Duncan coming back, it's a bit of uncertainty, but Tom Stewart, look, he chips around defence, he can take intercepts, same old Tom Stewart, same reliable. He looked like the same guy last year, so yeah, I have him equal third. And next I have Luke Ryan, so maybe not being too nice to Ryan here, maybe he deserves better, but he might lose some kickouts to Hayden Young. I think, that probably want to let Young take as many as possible, in my opinion, but we'll see. Not exactly sure, so for that reason we have him at 5th. Also has minor durability issues, along with Caleb Daniel and I guess Stewart as well, all kind of similar. A little bit of injury history, but it's not too bad. Ryan's is probably the worst of the lot, but still, see what Ryan can do this year. I think he can definitely do a lot better than where I have him, but we'll see. And next we have Jaden Short. So with Hurley coming back expected in round 2 or 3, it might hurt him a little bit, but he's the main man now, not Hurley anymore. So he takes kickouts. They want the ball in his hands as much as possible. And similar to Daniel, we might see him get tagged a fair bit. So one to watch. So that's my top 6 defenders. So it's very hard to get right. I don't think anyone has ever gotten the top 6 right from round 1. Lots can change, and maybe someone in a lower bracket that's not even mentioned in this video pops up out of nowhere, just like Ridley last year. So it's impossible to pick that. So see how it goes. Thanks for watching. Let me know who you think should or shouldn't be in and all that. So yeah, see you guys soon.